Was your family supportive of you when you got pregnant?
Absolutely not.
Really?
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh man, that's
I come from
dude.
a family where when my dad's parents were alive, lived next door to each other, and
Yeah,
their
that's
grandparents did. So like being divorced, I was the embarrassment of the entire generation, not even of the family. Like, oh, they went to America and look what happened. My mom was ashamed.
Wow.
I got kicked out of my house. It was crazy.
Check. Say something.
Hello. Is that working?
Yeah,
I have my podcast voice.
I feel like you have such a low voice.
I know. I just wanted to podcast because I'm loud as hell.
Oh, okay.
And then I get a microphone and I'm like, hi.
You ready?
Ready.
100%.
100%.
Okay, cool. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Maikon Show, the coolest show in the whole wide world. Shout out to Verity Esports, the coolest esports team in the world. Today, I'm with an incredible guest, an amazing person, a hard worker, a Latina, the incredible Karina.
What an intro. Thank you.
Yes,
Wow,
sir.
that's awesome.
Where you from?
I'm from Chihuahua, Mexico.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
Were you born there?
I was.
Dang.
I came here when I was 3.
You're a baby.
It's so funny when people say stuff like white people. When I tell them I was born there, they just like look at me and I'm like, you've probably been there more times than I have to Mexico. So no, yeah. I was born there, completely raised here. So fluent in English and Spanish thanks to my parents.
Do you ever go back though?
Oh, no. I've been back twice. One time to like where I'm from, because I'm from Cuauhtemoc, La Junta.
Cuauhtemoc, oh, that's a soccer
If
player.
they're listening to me in La Junta, shout out. And it was so crazy to see where I came from.
Oh, really?
It was dirt roads. Like we had the placita.
That's such a vibe, though.
You know, but it wasn't though. It's like a rancho. Oh, I mean, it was horrible to say, but what's crazy about that story is that I walked into like the farmacia, you know, where they have everything.
Yeah.
And that's just where you go to get anything. And I don't know what I was buying, but I go to check out and the girls have their nails done. They have acrylic nails. They have eyelashes. And I'm like, yo,
what's going on here?
that's crazy. But then it was like such like a, like that could have been that's my alternate reality of living there when the dirt roads, like there were still like Indios walking around with their kids.
That's crazy.
And I just was like, I think I went home at like, you know, back to where we're staying at my grandma's house and like hugged my mom. And I was like, thank you.
Wow.
Like, thank you for bringing me up here. Like, you know, everything that I took for granted, like my own home, my own car, my everything. Like it was like, if you had to shower, you had to like turn on the boiler to like heat up the water.
Yeah, that's it was me. My story is similar.
Yeah. And I just was like, oh my gosh, you know, and we had to hurry because there was only so much hot water. And this was in 2018, I think. Like this was in years ago.
Oh, so you went and you were living that life.
No. I went to visit.
Okay, cool. I thought
So I came here when I was 3.
it would be funny to see you going to that.
That would be the best reality show ever. Like, can you like imagine?
It's incredible because I can relate to that story because I came to this country when I was 9.
Oh, okay.
Right? Still
That's
all of
even
that.
different though.
Yeah,
You've lived it.
Yeah. But it's crazy because I came here and I got used to this lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right? It feels like, oh, I'm just American now. I've been back like 3 times and I've been through that. Like I've taken a shower and everything and like with the boiled water and stuff.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, the second time I was like, nah, I'm just get an apartment. Like, I'm not fucking.
Where's the Airbnb? Oh my gosh, we're so bougie.
How was Karina as a kid in school?
This is a crazy story. I came here when I was 3. My parents didn't know English. I obviously didn't know English. They sent me to kindergarten. I came home and I said, Mom, los niños me dicen shut up. ¿Qué es eso?
Oh.
Todos los niños me gritan y me dicen shut up. And my mom would just, I don't know if she knew at the time what it meant or she didn't want to tell me, but she would just be like, no, mija, like, you know, it's okay. It's okay. So for years, like I would go to school and I would just talk. I would talk to the kids. I would talk like anything, but I was speaking in Spanish. I had no idea. There was this whole other language going on. And it was crazy. Moving forward, I'm in 8th grade and I'm hanging out with the white kids and I'm getting in trouble, getting suspended. My parents pull me aside and say,
in 8th grade, you were out here getting in trouble?
Oh man, I was
okay.
Son,
You are a
my
rebel.
16-year-old, I was good. This is for TV. No.
Just skip this.
Skip over. I'm in 8th grade. I'm getting in trouble. My mom sets me aside and she says, Karina, you can't act like this. You can't act like these kids. And I'm like, why? And she's like, you don't have papers.
Ooh, that's a...
And I looked at her and I was like, Mom, they're in my backpack. Like, what are you talking about? I'm a girl and I'm at this point like 12 or something and I have attitude, right? I'm like, do you want my papers? And she looked at me. She's like, no. Like, you're illegal here.
Wow.
And I'm like, Mom, I'm not an alien. Like, what are you talking about? You know, like illegal alien. That was the term back then. And I just remember like being so confused as to like, what does that mean? Why is that? And she explained to me like, you know, you were not supposed to be in this country.
Wow.
And I just was like, I couldn't wrap my head around it. And it took me so long. So I had to buck up. You know, I couldn't be acting like that for whatever whatever reason, then I had the neighborhood kids being like, oh, where's your green card? And I'm like,
So fucked up.
I go home, I'm like, Mom, what's a green card? Like, what does this mean?
So much going on.
It's so, as a kid, like
Yeah.
no idea. And she just would have to explain it to me the best way that she could. It was just crazy to grow up like that to like where I am now is like insane.
As I'm hearing your story, it's amazing to me because we went through the same thing, you
Yeah.
know, pretty much. But I mean, I already knew I wasn't American, you know.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
I
that's
crossed,
true.
Across the border, you know, crazy.
Couple borders from the
Yeah, Tres veces mojado. That's a dope ass song too.
We can laugh about it now.
Yeah,
you know?
now it's okay. Now we're good. We're American.
Good. We got our stuff.
Yeah, we're chill. Yeah.
Don't call anybody. Don't call immigration. We're fine. It sucks. And so it was like, so I always had to take like very like shitty jobs, like being treated like crap, being treated by white men as a Latina. It was very difficult to like actually be in those situations where people are literally treating me different because of what I look like. And I get it. There's worse, but I got pregnant when I was 16.
Wow, you were young.
Super young. A month later, I turned 17. Then I graduated and it was time to work. So I'd go to work. I mean, this was right around the time. So it's like if I went to interview and I saw an E-Verify sign, I wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
I already knew. I would get a job. I would get called like a week later sometimes. Karina, we run your social and like this name is like not showing up. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'll get it figured out. And I couldn't come back. And so I remember having a job and I had a corner office and I had a window and it was at a nonprofit and I was so excited. Oh. And then they called and it was like a week and a half. And I was like, I think I did it. Like, I think I made it.
Yeah, because I mean, that week and a half is a lot.
It's a lot, exactly. Yeah. And then I got the call and I was just like, yeah, I think like living through that, especially like with having a job, like I'm trying to support my child.
Exactly.
And so it was super humbling, I guess you could say, to go through all that. I think this is the first time I've ever spoken about something like this, about what I really, really went through.
Wow, that's an honor.
Yeah, well, when you said like, what was Karina when she was little, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, we're doing this.
Was your family supportive of you when you got pregnant?
Absolutely not.
Really?
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh man, that's
I
tough,
come from
dude.
a family where when my dad's parents were alive, lived next door to each other. And
Yeah,
their
that
grandparents did. So like being divorced, I was the embarrassment of the entire generation, not even of the family. Like, oh, they went to America and look what happened. My mom was ashamed.
Wow.
I got kicked out of my house. It was crazy. I was with my kid's dad for a long time. I think we were together about 7 years. We had 2 kids. We're married and all that stuff for a very long time. And so, I had him at the time to get me through it and stuff, but we're going on like almost 10 years divorce now. So
wow.
So I grew up backwards.
Yeah, that's 16, dude.
Yeah. When I was 22, I was divorced with 2 kids.
Dude, in your 20s, that's when it's like everything changes.
Oh,
you
yeah.
are on the grind. And well, I mean, you were on the grind since 16.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so tough.
It's crazy. So like I look back now and I've been a mom more now than half my life. And I'm 32.
You're still young though.
I know.
Hey, the 30s is the new 20s.
I guess.
You know.
Like when you have a 16-year-old son and I look at him driving and I'm like,
Fuck.
I feel 45 right now. Like this is crazy.
Like, I feel funny.
Yeah. I feel funny. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, this is weird.
20s is still hard, but I feel like at 28, I'm getting the hang of it.
Yeah. That's around the time that you do that.
Is that the time that you kind of like,
absolutely.
I get it.
Yeah. I mean, I was the same thing, even with kids. I didn't have a childhood. I didn't grow up, any kind of way. So when it was like, when I got divorced and I was on my own, that's when like shit hit. And it was like, I was fucking up too. I was, doing dumb stuff. I got my real estate license at 25.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, when did you start the journey as a realtor.
I think I was 24 and I was like, hey, it's been a couple years. I need to get my shit together. And I was a property manager and I started off as a receptionist, moved into leasing agent, leasing manager, property manager. In like 6 months, I just moved my way up. And in order for me to sign leases, I had to get my license. So I did it more so to keep my job. I didn't really know what a real estate agent really was at the time. So they were like, we need you to get your license so you can keep your job. So they paid for my school. They allowed me to go to school while I was working, which was huge.
Wow, that's amazing.
So even then, though, it took me 2 years because I had 2 kids, I had a full-time job, and had to go to school.
That's the grind.
Yeah, like it was crazy. And so it took me a while. I failed my real estate test 3
Really?
times. Yeah. I signed up for it 4 times. I didn't go one of the times and passed it on like essentially the 4th. So everybody trying to get their real estate license, very few people pass it on the first one. So.
Yo, it's crazy because I try to be a realtor after soccer. First month, I'm like excited. I'm like, I'm gonna get this because I know marketing.
Money.
Yeah, I know marketing. I know everything. So I'm like, oh, that's all you need. But for some reason, it started declining. That excitement, I was like, I just don't like this.
Yeah.
And especially it's tough to keep a good cut, clean image as a realtor and trying to do other things like the entertainment business.
That's exactly it. And it's been a thing for me since I started real estate. But now that I have such a big following on Instagram and I'm getting millions of views, I'm also getting a lot of comments and a lot of things being said about me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not a rock star in real estate. I have 2 kids that depend on me that I love to spend time with. I cannot be a top 500 realtor because if I'm doing that, I'm giving up time with my kids and I don't want to do that.
Exactly.
So if I was getting business because I was standing there in a cute dress and everything was going on around me, like, you know how much business I'd have? Like, I would probably be in like Europe right now. Okay, let's be honest. Like,
or on the Netflix show. Remember the Netflix show?
Sunset?
Yeah, you could be there if you really wanted to.
Yeah, but that's not what I want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
I started real estate because I had to keep my job. I was renting houses to people and it felt amazing. And so when I was like, oh my gosh, I can help somebody like buy a home.
Yeah.
The first transaction I ever did as an agent was my very first home.
Wow.
So I got to go through it firsthand. And it was just amazing to help people.
Crazy, actually.
Yeah. And I just actually was scrolling on Instagram and I stopped on one of the reels and there was one agent last night that said, if you say you're not in real estate for the money, you're lying. But that's not true. I'm not.
Really?
I'm not in it for the money.
Okay.
If I was in it for the money, trust me, I'd be out there doing a lot of other things.
That is true. You would be in Sunset.
I'd be
selling
Salt
the
Lake
valley.
or something.
Seriously,
selling Utah. I don't know. But I do it because I genuinely love to make connections. I genuinely love to help people with the biggest purchase of their life. The money is just what comes with it.
Do you know Andrew Tate?
I need faces.
Yeah.
I'm horrible with names.
He's a guy who always wears glasses, bald guy, talking crazy on social media.
No, I'll have to look him
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. But he's someone whose ideology is very like, man, you need to be better. What the fuck are you doing?
I saw something that said, I want to be a provider. The woman's like, okay, provide. And then men are like, she's a gold digger. Women, we are getting better and we are making our own money, becoming to the point where we don't need a man. Because I know I say that often. What? I could change my light bulbs. What do I need you for? But it's also, it's on women too, to not, this is going to be horrible, to not emasculate them. To not make them feel like less of men. But on the other hand, you have to be a bigger man than me. Like I'm very in my masculine, right?
Yeah.
Like my masculine comes out a lot more because I've had to be. I'm in survival mode all the time.
You have to become a father if you think about it.
Exactly. I mean, I have 2 sons.
Yeah.
I've raised them. So now that they're older, and I'm not saying I'm done teaching them obviously or anything like that, but like they get the gist of what's going on. It definitely is becoming hard to be able to be soft. Like I need somebody where I can be soft and be in my womanhood, right? That I'm not trying to change my own light bulbs.
You know what's scary about that though?
It's okay.
Why did you do that?
I don't know.
It's like, I would drop some
like,
knowledge on you right
I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to like it.
You have a certain man that you need in your mind.
I have a list.
Exactly.
You
have a list.
It's written down.
A list. Yeah. Like there's a man out there that's like that.
Okay.
But that man is so high value that he doesn't want to settle down. And that's the hard thing. Because when men become very powerful, we tend to like, do I really want one woman? You know what I'm saying? I believe that the only way that a man can really stay with the woman when he becomes very powerful is if that woman has been right by his side
since
for a very long time.
Oof.
And right there helping him when he was at his lowest, but a man who has it all. I bet you want a man who has nice car, a yacht, probably.
Or two yachts would be cool with helipad.
That 1% is taking all the other women.
Ugh,
the 99% of men are staying there taking crumbs, but that 1%, they're just on a rampage. What does every woman want? They want that top 1%.
Yeah.
And what is the 1% doing? Getting with all of them and not marrying one.
Ugh, I need a second. That one is. Oh, yeah. Can we pause? Can we take a break? Get some water. No, it's true. I read something that said the only way a relationship can work is if a man loves the woman more.
Mic drop.
Until the man can be the one that he loves the woman more, that's the only way it's going to work.
Damn, that makes a lot of fucking sense. Like,
yeah,
that makes sense. Karina, you're out here winning, making moves, kids, a lot going on, stress. What do you do to get away from all of that?
Oh, I go to the gym, boxing.
I saw that. You got, guys, be scared because, you know.
I love one too. No, I box or I travel. Those are my 2 things. I travel a lot and people think it's like, oh my God, you're on vacation all the time. It's like, that is my self-care. Like if I don't travel once a month, I go crazy.
Where do you usually like to go? Like
anywhere. I mean, it could be, I could go to Moab and call it traveling. You know what I mean? Or I could be in, my favorite place, of course, is Southern Florida. Miami. Love it.
Yo, the food there's crazy.
Yeah, so good.
If you could go back in time, right? What would you tell your younger self?
Oh my God. Trust your gut. I feel like I doubt myself a lot. And I know I'm very intuitive. I'm very about energy. I would just trust yourself.
Wow.
Trust your gut.
5 years.
Okay.
Where are you going to be at?
Let's see. Definitely still doing real estate, 100%. Wow. I always wanted a team. A real estate team, and then I got one, and I can't do it. I don't want to do it anymore. No, just being in real estate and just doing more like the entrepreneur stuff I've been doing, and making sure my kids are also doing it. I will never not do real estate. That's just not going to happen. But then, like in luxury real estate, I think that's what I see me doing because I also wanted to have my license in Florida, so I started my course to do my license in Florida. So it's like having a house here and having like income properties there. Yeah. So between here in Florida. And yeah, just growing my real estate business.
It's been amazing, Karina.
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been great.
Thank you for coming to the Maikon Show.
Yes, thank you for having me.
I feel like a lot of people are gonna really learn from you, not just in the real estate, but in the personal side.
And that's what's crazy is that when I started to talk about what I went through, it started to help people. It started to push people, and I couldn't believe it because I'm like, I'm just living my life.
Your truth. You're living your truth.
I'm living my truth. And when I started talking about it, and people would reach out and be like, I needed this. Like, I needed to hear this. I was like, I needed to keep talking about it because the more I can talk about it, the more people I'm going to help and inspire and motivate. And that's all that life is about.
Yeah. What do you want to tell the fans? Where can they find you?
Oh my God, I don't have fans. I don't like that word. No, I don't have fans.
Look who's talking.
I don't have fans.
Look who's talking, millions of views.
Oh my gosh, that's just views. Your Realtor Karina at Your Realtor Karina, and then Real Talk with Karina is my podcast coming out soon on my show. There you go. There it is. That's it. I only have Instagram. I don't have TikTok. I don't have YouTube Shorts. I don't have anything. I have a Facebook, but I don't use it. So just hit me up on Instagram.
Okay, well, you guys heard it here. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you right here in the Maikon Show with me, your host, Maikon, and Karina. We're lit. We're vibing. Go to sleep early. Stop cheating on your girl. That's not good.
Don't do that.
Be a good guy.
Please.
We need more good guys in this world.
We do. Be one, please.
Love you guys. Peace out.